All ready? Are you there? Okay. We'll call this meeting to order. It is 4:38, and this is the Delaware Trust Board, October 17th, 2018. Chief, would you please open the meeting with prayer?
I certainly will. Let me turn the sound off on this phone, please. Nilaki Shelcom one issue Willie Kishku Takokan one issue Mitzi O.B. Willie Nipeling and Lenape Oak Ongande Wogan Lenape Oak. I am thanking the Creator for this good fall day and the food that we eat, the water we drink. I ask the Creator to stand us up well and ask the Creator to bring a blessing on the Lenape people and the Delaware tribe of Indians. Nana Lekech. Amen.
Amen. Councilwoman. Thank you, Chief. We appreciate that.
Good neat, Holmes. He's here before I call.
That's right. You're on time because we didn't do roll call yet. Now we'll have roll call.
Chairman Mary Jo Peterson,
Here.
Assistant Chair Marilyn Cole. Here. Treasurer Joe Brooks,
Here.
Member Roger Stewart,
Here.
Member Homer Scott,
Here.
Member John Thomas.
Here.
Secretary Brenda Crawford is here. We have a quorum.
Thank you. And welcome our guests. And I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as written here.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. And now you have the minutes from the September 2018 meeting, part of the packet.
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there anyone who wants further discussion or needs to look at the minutes?
Discussion.
Yes.
I want to say you're doing a very good job, Marilyn.
I have years of practice.
You're doing an excellent job.
Well
Thanks.
over 20.
And thanks for getting them to us well in advance of the meeting.
Yeah.
We do appreciate you very much. We're glad you're part
I
of the
definitely
trust.
do, and I will be getting them next time, and I'll follow her example as best I can. I think I'm mentally and physically out of getting back to where I can be.
We're glad to have you back in good health again. If there's no further discussion, we'll call the question. All in favor of approving the September 2018 Trust Board minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. And now we'll have the treasurer's report.
We started off, the total for the month, when we started off August 31st, it was $4,436,266.53. We ended with $4,439,315.80 for a gain of $3,049.27. We're roughly $6,000 still negative for the year. You have that figure with you, I forgot mine at the house.
No, I'm sorry,
It's a little over $6,000. We're still negative for the year because of that 1 month we really had a huge drop.
But there's 3 months yet that we can.
Still have 3 months, and maybe we'll pull out the year with a gain, we hope. I'm gonna give you the financials by committee. Reinvestment, carry forward was $13,365.08. The budget was $16,062.10. Expenditures year-to-date, 0, for a balance of $29,427.18. Culture preservation started out with $21,707.51, carry forward. Budget was $16,062.10. Expenditures year-to-date was $4,285.53, leaves a balance of $33,484.08. Community services, carry forward was $25,712.66. Budget was $40,155.25. Expenditures year-to-date, $41,810.14. Leaves a balance of $24,057.77. Education. Started the year with $495. It was an unrestricted donation. The budget was $48,186.30. Expenditures year-to-date, $52,838.80. We have a negative balance of $4,652.50, but the tribe has already approved $5,000. So we're gonna wait closer to the end of the year when we know how much more money we're gonna have to ask the tribes to donate to our education committee. Elders committee, carry forward was $12,179.32. The budget was $8,031.05. Expenditures year-to-date, $972.78, which leaves the elders a balance of $19,237.59. Veterans Committee started the year with $12,495.77, carry forward. Budget was $8,031.05. Expenditures year-to-date, $9,334.91, which leaves a balance of $11,191.91. Tribal operations, as you can see, the carry forward, which has been taken care of now, their budget was $24,093.13. Their expenditures year-to-date, $26,984.34 with a 0 balance. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions on the treasurer's report?
On the
Yes.
education, you said you got to ask the tribe for some more money?
Tribe's already approved $5,000.
You're on the council.
I'm on the council,
Right.
I'm on the
And so-
education committee, I'm on the community services committee.
And, so I guess we could ask about the tribal council stuff, since he's a tribal council member.
Yeah, in
To
regard,
to me, I know they get a little nervous when we say trust board, and then we wanna talk about tribal council stuff, like we're not supposed to.
we can on this one because it's directly related to a trust board committee.
What do you wanna know about it, John?
You say the tribe has given $5,000?
Tribe has already approved $5,000.
Where they getting that money? That's what I would like to know.
I think it came out of our 106 residual money, did it not?
It is going, yeah, it's going to.
Going to?
Yeah.
We hadn't drawn it out yet, but it's gonna come out of 106 residual monies.
Just a legitimate legal question, that's all I'm asking. I'm not making no issue out of it, so you guys don't panic.
That's where it's gonna come from.
Some of it will come out of the Lenape Foundation Scholarship Fund,
And that would be
because it
very
is
appropriate,
dealing with,
because that's what it's
but
for.
the scholarship is down to where there's not a full $5,000.
Mhm.
So the rest of it will come out of the residual of 106 funding revenue. And then in your October, there will be a receivable set up which shows that we have covered 5,000 of it. So it'll look like they're ahead next month
Mhm.
until we get to the end of the year, and at that point in time, we will probably again have a very small, minimal amount.
Our fiscal year
overage.
doesn't end until December 31st, so we may have some, few
There-
more expenses.
Yes,
There is probably, way I understand too, I guess the 106 money, what consultation money is probably no more, is that right? I don't know. You just
Still
tell me.
receiving a little bit, but not much.
not much.
Do we have any idea how much longer it's gonna last? Or the money that is in 106? The reason I'm asking because, you know, we can't continue to draw from the tribe. If they're gonna run out of money, then we're gonna have this education.
Depends on how seriously these people, these companies, how seriously they take the letter we send them. That if they don't pay the consultation monies, they are, more or less, it said they are still liable. They still have.
The question being, how much, with the money that we do have, how much longer is it gonna last? How long is that 106 money gonna last? Because I know it's being used for other purposes besides funding us with our education. There's other, it's funding other stuff as well.
It's not gonna last long.
It's not gonna last long. So that's what I'm asking, Joe, because we need to, the reason I'm asking that
But the
because
money
we
is
need
there.
to consider something about our education here
We
also.
couldn't give out more scholarships if we didn't have funds somewhere to cover it, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, because I think
Looking
that
into
5,000 they
next
give
year.
is just for one person, you know, it's not for all of the way I understand, it's just, they give five.
Their scholarship is separate.
Their
That's
okay,
not what they're giving us to fund
they're giving
this.
us
This is
on top of our
yes.
other.
$4,000 or $5,000 scholarships came out of the 106 monies.
It was budgeted last year during
And they are
tribal
already-
council,
And they are already paid.
yes.
So are you thinking that we maybe have a few months left of 106 money in the tribe?
Yeah, we've still got some money left, 106.
Do you, that's what I'm asking, how much longer
I
is it gonna last?
can't give you a number because I haven't looked at my books to tell you exactly how much they have left.
And there
The
could be
money
some more
for
money.
the education, at some point in time, the tribal council approves to cover the excess of the board, of the education trust board. At some point in time, it's still up to the council, be it whoever gets voted in November, to continue that tradition. If they don't want to continue covering it, then it'll be up to the education department to actually cover their own scholarships.
We'll actually probably have to cut off services in November.
So we're going broke anyway.
I didn't say that.
Well, I know, but see, we're
Education.
not getting that money, then our
Education.
education is going
Only
broke.
education.
Well, education's not going broke, education just expends in excess of what the trust board
Of their budget.
budgets for them.
We could keep giving out scholarships, we just have to watch it and when we
Well,
get
Joe just
spent
said,
on the money.
that we're gonna run out, or it's gonna be, we're gonna end it in November.
It's getting
Sorry about
lots
No,
of
it
people.
said, there's a pot, he didn't say that we'll end in November. We still have a few left, like the reimbursement of driver education, school supplies, some scholarships coming through. The scholarships itself, there should not be much of any of the larger scholarships. Right now, it's just the smaller reimbursements for school supplies, driver education, etc. So we're looking at maybe an additional $200 to $400 before the year's out. We have approximately $350 left of coverage from the tribal council's guarantee of a $5,000 reimbursement.
So it should come out very close.
Yeah, I mean, it may not be that we use all of it.
So we
Yeah.
have another year of trust
Yeah.
funding every January.
But I'm just saying, if this money, we may not should be dependent on tribal monies coming into us anymore, because if we're not getting that 106 money, it's gonna dry up and just it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out.
As
And
might
we should
not
consider
be able to
that,
plan on
as a
that.
board here, we should be considering exactly how we're gonna be dispersing our educational funds, is what my idea is. And I guess Joe's on top of that too.
Oh, yes.
He seems to be on top of everything.
If we go over,
Maybe he,
if we see we're gonna go over and the new tribal council, new chief won't donate any money to us, we'll just have to cut off services on the education committee. Period.
Except for what we give,
Right.
except for what the trust board gives.
No, we'll have to cut off services even from the trust board if we
If
go
we're
over
gonna have money,
budget and the tribal council won't donate.
We
The
can spend
education
trust
would have
budget
to actually
money.
live within their means. What
We've
they
got-
get
we've got a
budgeted
budget
is
for
what they can
education.
spend.
Yes,
By
we
the trust
do.
board.
Yes, we do. And we'll have a new one for.
We'll have a new one
2019.
January the 1st.
But we may have to live within that trust budget.
We
That's
may have,
exactly what I'm saying.
we may have to
We're
cut
gonna
the
have to
scholarship
live within
amount.
that, whether we like it or not, we have to live within it.
we went to $300 for a while, we may have to go back to 300.
Exactly,
Well,
exactly, because there's no money.
question and comment on that. I'm just trying to clarify, do we stick to the deadline for accepting the scholarships? And don't give for any that comes in after that deadline? Are we sticking to that proposal?
Yes, we are.
That was the only,
We made one exception because the college was dragging on sending a copy of the transcript.
right. Well, there's always exceptions, but basically, if they come in too late, they don't get funded.
But the application and everything else was here except the transcript from the college.
And that was out of the applicant's
And that came
control.
in like a week later.
Right. We can always, and we have for everything, been able to approve something pending receipt of additional information, but
Marilyn can answer that. She's the vice chairman of
Yeah,
education.
they follow the
They're following,
deadline.
they're following the
Everything comes
cutoff
in after the
date.
deadline.
But that's just my concern, is that we should probably maybe start living within our particular budgets.
Next year,
We're
we
not gonna
may have
have
to
to,
on
we're not gonna be
education.
able to depend on the tribe covering anything on education or anything else, because no money, hello, no money coming in.
No money coming in, then no money going out.
We'll still have the New Year's trust board budget.
Yeah, the trust board.
Whatever we
That's
say.
what I'm saying, the trust board, we have to live within our budget.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to
Education
cut the
budget.
budget. Probably gonna have to cut all the budgets.
Well, we'll
Way
see
it's
how it
looking
turns
so
out.
far.
There's nothing, you know, there's no money.
I'll make a motion to, no, I'm not gonna make the motion.
I'll make
because
a
I'm the
motion to
treasurer.
approve the financial reports pending audit.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the financials pending audit. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you all. And now we'll have our committee reports. Community service, Joe?
Community service, I was not present for the meeting. Me and the chief were at another meeting we had to go to in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They approved
Yes.
3 burials at $750 apiece for a total of $2,250. 1 dental assistance for $161.40. 2 elder opticals for $377.82. 4 emergency, 1 denied for $614.45. 1 medical for $240. 2 rental assistants for $480, for a total of $4,123.67.
Is there any questions on the community service report? If not, cultural preservation, Homer?
Okay, we had a meeting, earlier this, a couple weeks ago, and we made sure that everybody, we're making sure that everybody that had worked for the Delaware days, that done the set up and tear down, to we'll make sure that they're gonna get paid for their services at $10 an hour, and which they had not yet, they should probably get the money, but anyway, because the money's gotta be turned on the the minutes gotta be turned in, so,
I'll back up the
Yeah.
check.
and so,
Excuse me, may I interject?
huh?
May I interject on that?
Yes,
Those individuals that work the Delaware days, we were notified earlier this week, and sorry, in between packing and moving and et cetera, I don't believe will receive a check Monday, but it will be next week that they will be having the process of the checks ready. We're hoping they should be going out in the mail by Friday at the latest.
okay.
We apologize for the lateness of it, but they've moved our construction schedule up just a little bit faster than we were expecting, and we've spent the past 3 days trying to get as much out while trying to box up the office all at the same time. So we are aware that we've got a couple of individuals, they're getting the paperwork put together, and it should be in our office next week, and we hope to have them out by Friday.
Okay, okay, yeah, that way I can let the people know, because they've been asking questions, and, you know, was wondering.
Yeah, I didn't want to guarantee that they would see it on Monday when, like I said, I know we only processed a few emergency checks at the last minute, and our last round of payables from last week, we had not received the information we needed. Anita had just gotten back today. So she's putting the paperwork together so that we can get the individuals paid.
Okay.
And I'm expecting the paperwork on Monday.
Leslie, are you staying in that same office, or are you actually moving out of that office to somewhere else?
No, we're not relocating. At this time, what is happening is that they're doing a new carpet, and they are cleaning up and repairing and painting the walls. And then we've got to be everything moved out in order to move up, get that all done, and then move us back in. From what I understand, the contractors are starting first thing tomorrow morning with getting our furniture out. We've been moving our records and getting important documentation locked up and making sure that everybody's got car keys and Visa cards and gas cards and et cetera. Because they will be taking our electronics down, there is no way we can perform our duties for the next 3 business days, so Thursday, Friday, and Monday. Now, we have been told that as the schedule goes like it has been, they should be moving furniture back in on Monday. At that time, I will be back because I'm hoping that, well, we've got payroll week coming up also.
Oh, boy.
And wanting to make sure that we can try to get as much back in and set up on Monday, where when my staff comes in on Tuesday, we get to rolling right back as normal.
You have that backlog
Just a nice-
besides your regular business.
Yeah, nice, pretty, they got us some storage, so, we're quite pleased with the space we're getting ready to have.
So we can still find you in the same spot?
Yes,
just
ma'am.
not for a few days?
Just,
Okay.
yeah, not until technically Tuesday.
Okay. Excuse the interruption.
That's right, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I
I
just
thought
didn't
we
want
had to see it
them,
every
yeah.
hour. Yeah, okay.
With live feed, I didn't want anybody thinking that they're gonna get a check Monday and it not be there. It just,
Okay.
we just had some issues with getting the
Yeah.
paperwork put together.
Yeah, that way I could explain to them why. All right, sure, thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see, we also had, we discussed, for, Delaware Culture Night, on a Tuesday. We decided we was gonna have the, smoked, bologna, and we had beans left over from Delaware days, and we, had, other people brought their own, brought some dishes, items in for to eat and everything. We ended up with 23 people. There was more, started out pretty slow, but we ended up with quite a few people, and we got through our language classes, and we didn't do any stomp dancing or anything, or because there was very few younger adults and kids there. I think the oldest one was probably 8, 9, somewhere around there. So we went ahead and just done the language class, and discussed a lot of other things about our language classes, and we're making our language classes into sentences, questions and answers. So we can talk in sentences to other people, or, you know, that talk back within our group, and hopefully, you know, expand that to our members of the tribe. Let's see, let's see, I think I gave the report on the Delaware days the last time, our last meeting. Yeah, because it was the day after the, okay, now, I think that's all I have for culture now, culture preservation.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any questions on culture preservation? If not, we'll move on to education. Marilyn?
Okay, on their meeting on Monday, they had 2 applications, one for school supply and one for education assistance, for a total of $90.
Okay, is there any questions on education? I think we discussed education pretty thoroughly earlier. Not, we'll go on to elders. I don't see Kay here, so Homer, would you like
Okay.
to speak on elders?
And we had the elders meeting a couple weeks ago too, on the first, they're planning, we set scheduled for, our, casino night, or today, would be the 19th, which is this Friday, and we're going to go downtown, casino, Osage Casino, down there by Tulsa.
Oh, the one they call the downtown casino?
Yes.
It's about 4 miles north of downtown.
Yeah. And anyway, they're gonna go there, and they discuss on what other casino they're gonna go to next week, next month. And right now, I don't have that. I'm not sure where they're going to have, or where they're having on it for sure, so I won't say where they're going. And that was about it as far as elders.
Okay. Does anyone have questions on elders? If not, we will go on to reinvestment committee. John, you got the minutes in the very back of our packet here.
We had a meeting, was that the 4th, wasn't it?
Yes, October 4th.
Could you read that? I didn't bring my glasses. I couldn't find them before I left. I looked, that's all right, she could read it.
Okay. At the meeting was Chairman John.
It's not that I can't read, by the way, I can read, but
Okay.
I just didn't have my glasses.
Well, we believe you. I know how it is. If I didn't have my glasses, I couldn't read it either. You were there and I was there as vice chair, Leslie Young as the CFO for the tribe, and we had a guest speaker, David George, who was very interesting. Chairman started the meeting explaining Mr. George was there as an expert in the silk screening business and was going to make a presentation about possibly bidding for silk screening equipment, which the Pawnee tribe was selling. And at the time of the meeting, the Pawnees had not received any bids. And he explained further that if we purchased the equipment, we could include a training program, learning opportunities for Delaware youth. Also programs within the tribe that might want to have shirts for publicizing their activities or as fundraising activities. That's something that could be done. Then we asked Mr. George about his experience. He said he'd been in the silk screening business for over 30 years, and it wasn't just to make t-shirts, but also you could reproduce fine art with that, and that was also another possible business development and fundraiser. And some questions were discussed, such as, if we got this equipment, where could we store it? Because, of course, it's not small. who would know how to work the equipment other than Mr. George? If we had this as a business, we'd have to have a manager of it and also workers, and how would these people be paid? How long, if ever, would we actually make a profit on it? And Mr. George said that on the t-shirt making business, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a very small profit margin. It's not a big money-making activity. Also, Leslie, if you want to correct me or add anything, please do. And then after further discussion, it was decided by the members present, it would take more planning concerning this project and all the possibilities, and that purchasing the equipment really didn't exactly fit reinvestment, because reinvestment is supposed to produce income. That's one of the criteria for it. And while this would be valuable for training and helping other committees, it was not by any means sure to be producing income right away. We would welcome other suggestions and are open to looking at other investments to present at the next meeting. The next meeting wasn't scheduled at this time, but we will have another one in the future. And would you like to add anything to that, or would you like to add anything to that?
No, I'm good, that's,
Okay, well, I appreciate you taking minutes, I appreciate that.
thank you.
I'll add that, in our discussion, there was gonna be, like, not necessarily conflict, but if we did invest in that, and then the tribe would also would have to kind of be party to that investment.
Does it involve
Because,
employees and
yeah, they're,
storing
maybe
it in
hiring
a tribal
somebody,
building?
using some of their property, since we don't have property. So there's there probably would have been a conflict there. And then we're coming up on the elections, could be a new people in.
That might not commit to the project.
Right,
even if
exactly,
everyone else did.
and, or one that would commit to the project. So depending on that, so we just was kinda like in a where we couldn't really do anything or make a decision.
It's down.
Because of maybe the current administration we have, maybe they wouldn't go for it, maybe they would or wouldn't, and
The
then we've got
timing.
another administration that might come in, or, depending on who it is. So we were just kinda caught in it. My ideal is trying to think outside the box, besides just trying to invest it into the bank and instead of another little investment, where we're drawing 2 or 3% off the money.
Something
Where we
more
can invest
creative
into
than
something that is ours, and we could probably use it it could create, revenue for the tribe itself. It would be $1 million operation. The guy, the David George here, he's the Delaware guy. He's a very well-known artist.
Oh, he brought beautiful art,
Yeah.
just beautiful.
Very.
Did he get down to see Curtis and show him?
Yeah, he, again, he's gonna wait till, there's gonna be a change of, if there's a change of administration or whatever. There's some, that's probably main thing there, whether he'll come aboard or not, he might not even wanna come aboard.
I guess a lot of things are on hold till after the
Yeah,
election.
there's a lot of things on hold till after the elections.
Okay. Well, we sure appreciated you introducing him to us, and that art he
He
brought.
would be
was
a
just
great, he'd be a
gorgeous.
great asset to us, cause he knows how to do these murals that we've been talking about. He knows how to do murals, he knows how to do great artists, he's well-known, he's a well-known artist. We probably don't know him, cause, a lot of us are not into the art business or, paintings and stuff
Well,
like that.
Leslie also can speak to how
I know
beautiful
the
his
name
art is.
as an artist.
He was impressive, very impressive.
I'd like just to make a comment on this type of business. It might not, for the tribal usage, being able to produce things at cost would be a tremendous asset.
Yes,
I know from that experience over the years that a business like that will have a sales representative that can go out to places that are going to be doing and selling the artwork or that's one thing. And in the past, I've known that some of the salespeople do it on commission so that it's not an upfront outlay. But there are so many possibilities with this for, like I said, training people, just getting youth and people involved. I hope that somehow we manage to do it, because I think.
I know the veterans, that we talked about the veterans, they have T-shirts and jackets and stuff they would like to probably do, and they could use that particular, make their, and do fundraising, or maybe the culture committee, the youth committee, anybody within our tribal programs and stuff that would want to do something like that, they have the option of doing something like that, so they could be a fundraiser for them.
Or for their own use.
And it's very simple to, once you got them set up, it's very simple. David, he could do all of the necessary graphic, he's a graphic artist as well. He's got the experience, and it's not a difficult thing, the T-shirt making operation. I watched videos on it for about a day and a half, just to get caught up on it, just see exactly what it was, what it's gonna take and stuff like that. And I encourage everybody, to get on their YouTube and look at it and see what it's all about. But it would have been a plus for us, but,
The timing of it.
yeah, the timing right now.
Leslie, you had your.
We may lose this opportunity. This guy, the Pawnee tribe we went down and looked at their equipment and stuff. They probably got over $30,000 worth of stuff. And they even had excess T-shirts that they bought, that also went with the bid. And usually if you buy a turnkey operation like that, you're only gonna get about, I think, 5 silk screens. They had something like 30 or more. They had the tables, the big tables for it to take out. They had where you can hang them, racks. They had everything. Everything. Some of that stuff would have had to been extra if we bought it. And we could have bought the equipment, but to add on to everything would have been extra, and it would have really added up to some money. So we're really just losing out on a good deal. I think we could have got for 10 grand.
Well, nobody else had bid on it yet though, so it's still out there.
I looked at a T-shirt, turnkey T-shirt making operation, brand new one. It was a little over 20,000, 21 to 23,000. And that's a turnkey operation where they give you all the paints and everything. All you have to do is set it up, get ready to start doing your thing. But this is a lot more. This had 2 or 3 times more stuff than you would if you had to buy it, if you bought a turnkey operation from the company.
Leslie?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I just happened to think something else on your screen printing. We could do the flags. Make our own flags and sell them through the tribe, and a lot of our tribal people would be really excited about buying them.
Flags are pretty expensive to buy.
Yes, they are.
Just order.
I sat here looking at it, I thought, oh, that's another thing.
Plus they also wear out and you
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
new ones.
We could have did banners. We could do banners. We could do posters. There's a lot. The option of that was really beneficial for us, especially for a lot of the things that we could have used that particular business for. That's where I was thinking outside the box, instead of saying, well, we just invested some railroad stock. It's just at the paper at the bank. Why can't we have something tangible here? Where we really, we can do something like that. Make. And then it is available for, if we want to take an order, if we want to do 10,000 T-shirts for Turkey Nation holidays, we could have took that order and we could have, made some money on that too. But anyway,
Well, after the election, maybe
I hope,
the tribal council would be interested. They would restore the equipment.
I called them and asked them if they could, if they could extend that for another week, the bid for another week until after the elections, to see who gets in,
Keep the
and if
bids
that
open.
person would want to kind of like maybe pursue that. There's only 3 of us.
Actually,
Myself and Chief.
Actually, it'll be about, 3 weeks?
Yeah. Personally, I would like to make a motion that we recommend to the tribal council that they pursue this and investigate it more. That's something that this trust board wants to do.
motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion is carried unanimously. I think we've covered reinvestment pretty thoroughly. Tribal operations, chief,
Move for,
Nick
accept
Ford.
the trust and pay the money.
And
For 2018.
Roger.
Yes, I've got a very limited report. During Delaware days, I was one of the fortunate veterans that got a blanket.
Oh,
award
that's
to
good.
them, along with AJ.
AJ, right? AJ Group. Yeah. Yeah.
And the chili cook-up that we was gonna have versus the War Mothers has been canceled
Okay,
due to a death in some crew clubs. And the next veterans meeting is 23rd. That's all I have.
Yeah, that's all good, from our last meeting, because it was, according to this, it was, day after our meeting. No, I take that back, the day before our meeting. We had it on Tuesday, we had our meeting, trust board meeting on Wednesday, we had ours on Tuesday, and the following Saturday, so, we haven't had a meeting since. until
okay.
Next Tuesday.
Okay, does anybody have any questions on veterans? If not, I'd entertain a motion to accept all the committee reports as presented. Got a motion, do we have a second?
So, second.
Okay, a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you to all who presented reports. Do we have any unfinished business? Yes, Joe?
I brought this up numerous times, that we're getting no written reports from the Veterans Committee. And this time, we have no written report from the Elders Committee. So for that reason, I'm gonna make a motion that if we don't get a written report next month, any request for reimbursement or any expenses will be held till we do get a written report.
Leslie, I imagine that goes along with the accounting policy too, that you need to have a written report, written minutes approving it before you can issue a check, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that will just be reinforcing already what accounting policy is.
I'm making that in form of a motion because I'm sick and tired of not having, especially the Veterans Committee. There's usually an Elders Committee written report in here, but there's not this one. So I'm making that in form of a motion that if we don't get a report next month, their funding is cut off till we do get a report.
We have a motion, do we have a
I'll
second?
second that.
Okay, motion and a second, is there any further discussion on that?
I think we should hold off on that particular motion. Of course, again, we've got an election coming up. Things may change. And, I think we should let the veterans, we should talk to Kay, I think Kay, we can talk to her personally about it, say, Kay, we need this. I don't wanna be put on the spot of cutting off the elders' funding. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna cut off any of our committee's funding because they're not giving a report or doing this or doing that.
Well, they won't get their checks
That's their
anyway.
duty as the chairman of that committee, to make sure a written report gets back to this trust board.
And
Read the trust document, it says the committees will give a written report each month.
Yeah. Roger, you, Homer.
Yeah, I'm a vice chair on the Elders Committee, so I'll make sure we've got a written report for the elders. And as far as veterans, I'm there most of the meetings, and I get with Kenny, Usually after our meetings, we usually get minutes to you, right?
It would be preferable, yes. Kenny had given me the last ones,
Yeah.
which was reimbursing for the blankets for the veterans at the Delaware Days, and the reimbursement for Susan Cade's mail out for memorial donations. Those, they were handwritten, which were not necessarily legible in order to put in as a community report. But I'll be happy to work with the veterans if they want and make sure that they have a written, printed report. Just let me know.
Okay, we got another, person on the committee that's there, every meeting. I'll get with her, she'll be writing down a lot of minutes too, so, I'll get with her on that, not overriding his,
Not, so-
just 'cause I'm there a lot. And
it's not so much the elders committee, because this is the first month I can remember not getting a written report from the elders committee.
Well, and they just
But
got
the
a
vet-
new
But the
secretary to help
veterans-
with the
the
reports on the
veterans, I
elders.
brought it up at meeting after meeting after meeting, and it still doesn't get done. So that's why I'm making the motion, and I think that's probably why Homer seconded the motion. So I'm gonna ask you to call for the question.
Yeah, I'll call for the question now. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I oppose.
Okay, the motion is carried with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ayes and 1 opposed.
Well, I wasn't really finished with the discussion about our committees here, how they could report to us, besides besides written.
Okay, I'm
Uh,
open
I-
to hear more about it.
They can do, we're not set up for it because we're so backwards here, I think. And that's not I'm not trying to condemn anybody or anything like that or whatever, but, most places are kind of more up to date on their technology and stuff like that. We can have we can sit down and interview or whatever and get a report from our Veterans Committee, live feed Veterans Committee report, and we can watch them right here on the screen. If there's a problem with getting these typed up or whatever the problem is there, and we can do it that way, that's even a better way. Why can't they live feed their report to us?
But how will that work for backing up payment of a check?
Yeah, we can't put it with the,
Well, we can get
Check.
the necessary paperwork for your checks.
and the auditors wouldn't be able to watch the videos either. I mean,
We need a written report in the trust board packet.
Well, this is not just recent.
No.
All the time I served as, off and on
Yeah.
as the secretary, we have constantly, over the years, begged for those reports. We're not cutting off funding. All we're doing is getting them to do their.
All we're doing is prompting them
Their
to
funding
get their
is still
reports
there
in
if
like
we'll
they're
be
supposed to. And their reports are due on Wednesday before the trust board meeting the following Wednesday. They're due 1 week in advance. So even if it's a report from the last Veterans Committee meeting,
Also, accounting is not gonna process their checks unless she has written minutes.
and handwritten is not acceptable. She said they weren't even legible.
some of it was not legible.
So they need to,
Part of it was, but
everybody's got access to a computer. If not, I'll volunteer, they can come up here and use mine in my office.
Yeah, now that's more like it. We need to make something available for our committee members, because that's our responsibility, is to help, and support these committees. If our committees is lacking something there where they can't get their report in, they don't have somebody to type it up, if they don't have computer, whatever their problem is,
And Leslie has volunteered to work with them, I know she will.
yes. And I believe the council has approved an office space for the trust board, which has computer access for our secretary to be able to use. I don't see why the committee members,
Any committee member.
the chairs couldn't come in and also use the same, since they are part of the trust.
I'd be happy to have them do that.
And
They
like I
also
said,
have
I'm sure
available
anyone here
computers
would be
in the
more
gift
than,
shop.
that's the way we should make our presentation to our committees. is that we're willing to help you and how this is the way we're gonna help you to get your report in. I don't like this demanding, you know, you get your report in or we want to cut you off stuff.
Sometimes that's the only way to get it.
And we
And-
need
and
to
we're
give
working
them the
with it.
necessary, we need to give them the necessary resources and the help that they need to get their report into us.
And that's what we're doing.
Right.
Leslie's gonna help them, we have computers here, we've got computers at
And
the
that's why we
shop.
should express ourselves to our committees.
Well, we have people here,
We're not no dictators.
we're here on, people here on the board that represent on the committees, and so the word will get out. And it's mainly just one committee that the problem's with. So I'm sure that not only will the motion be conveyed to them, but also all the resources available to help them with that. So it will be a balanced message.
That's what we need to do is to up our game for our committees.
Mhm.
Because they're, and then we can give them all the assistance they need. Then that way we do have the report. And she has the necessary information she needs for whatever check that she needs to make out and for her accountability.
We
Because
have
that's very
offered-
important, accountability.
Oh, it is. I'm
We
former
have
operator.
offered, I know my office has offered, you know, we've made space for the trust, for any of the committees, you know, we're more than willing, my office especially, is more than willing to help out any of the committees to make sure that processing payments for things are in a timely fashion. I can't do anything as far as the packets are concerned, the only thing I can do is the financials and make sure those reports are in.
Which they always are. I can't think of a time that they weren't. Yes,
John, I'm gonna tell you, I'm sorry you don't appreciate what this trust board just voted on.
Wait a minute,
But there's-
don't tell me, don't talk to me like that, Joe.
Wait a minute,
Don't tell me you're sorry that I don't appreciate the way this trust
I
board
am
works.
sorry, but.
You can be sorry for
but-
yourself,
but-
don't speak for me.
But this trust
one
board
person at a
rules,
time.
this trust board rules. Whatever the vote of this trust board is, that's the way it's supposed to be. Trust board works just like the tribal council. A vote of the tribal council stands, no matter if you like it or not. So for that reason, I think we ought to move on with business. and
We
quit
did move
arguing
on with
it.
business. We just discussed it, how it is that we can up our grade, up our game, so we can get these reports in from our committees. That's what I'm saying.
And you've
Not
heard,
just, not
you've
just to
heard
make
computers have been
a
offered.
resolution the
You've
way you
also
made it.
heard that
That
help
we're
has
gonna
been
cut
offered in
everything
the
off. I'm not
past.
cutting nothing off from them.
You've also heard that help's been offered in the past.
It's always been available.
We can up our game,
Yeah, I think.
We just did.
okay, we
I
did.
think- I think
But don't
this
try to
is-
preach to me,
I think this issue.
I don't need it.
I think this issue has been settled. I think everyone's had a chance to air.
You
their
too.
thoughts. I think everyone has had a chance to speak, and it's time to move on now. Do we have any other unfinished business? If not, any new business? When will the time, date, and location of the next meeting be? Your calendar?
You know, to kind of like, you know, there's some sourness here, you know, with the chief and tribal council member Joe and the assistant chief. I explained to you how they tried to jack me up here in front of the tribal building the day. And because of that, you know, that's that political game they're playing. They didn't like the way that I questioned him at his meet and greet thing. They tried to jack me up over it, accuse me of things, lied to me, made up lies. They tried to call me out. And you can say something if you want to, Joe.
May I state that actually that needs to be held outside the trust board. I understand.
He's on the trust board, that's why.
Right.
Because he's not gonna agree with anything that I wanna say or do. nor this guy.
You mean,
Wednesday's on the
we've got,
Wednesday
get
before,
this meeting in,
Thanksgiving.
The 21st is on.
Okay, the third Wednesday in November is the 21st, that's the day before Thanksgiving. However, I have to say, I have to be out of town both the 7th and the 14th. So certainly you can have it on,
28th, I won't be here then.
You want to do the 28th?
I won't be here on the week of the 21st, or the,
or the 28th.
I'll be here on the 28th, I'm not going anywhere.
I would suggest that we go to the 28th, because the holiday conflict, that's something we always move to accommodate.
People visit cooking and stuff.
Okay, what does everyone think about having our next meeting on the fourth Wednesday due to the Thanksgiving holiday? So it'd be November 28th.
All right, with me.
Agreeable?
That'd be all right with me.
Making that form of a motion.
Yes, I move that we meet November 28th at this location at 5, is that?
Um,
I'll second.
Does anyone like it an earlier time or a later time or anything? It was at 5 because I used to work full-time and I had to rush from downtown, but of course I'm retired now. So is it more convenient,
Anytime.
Leslie?
I like the 4:30.
Okay, what does others think about the 4:30?
Yeah, I think we are to respect our tribal members. Some of them work till 5 o'clock. That gives them a chance to possibly come to the meetings, which not very many of them ever do. But it still leaves it open for the ones that work to come to our meetings.
Okay, so you,
4:30 would also do that, would it not?
No, a lot of people
For
work
those
till
that
5
don't,
o'clock.
yeah, clock out at 5.
so leave it at 5?
Okay.
Okay, so what is the motion now?
The next meeting to be held November 28th, 5 PM in the chambers.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. And now I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Our meeting is adjourned at 5:35 PM. Thank you all.